On today's 30-minute mechanic, we're gonna pull the YZ125 forks apart. Take a look at what they look like on the inside. Fluid looks okay, so maybe they look fine on the inside. We may also look at putting a seal in where our clutch lever and maybe trying to figure out how to adjust the free play on the clutch. That's kind of new territory. I did watch a video on it, so I kind of know what I'm doing. So buckle up, let's go. All right, we've got our YZ, these are 1982 YZ125 forks. They're in decent condition. They got a little bit of pitting right up here where the triples are going to be right in here. So doesn't really bother me. Chrome looks good on the part that matters. No dings, no scuffed up spots. I almost ran into my engine hoist again. I do need this tool, one of these. Oh my gosh. Never prepared. I mean, that. Never prepared. Never prepared. Okay. I have my tools here. Find the right hoochie doos there. Right Allen head. Dinger for dingers. All right. Like I said, they're a 38 millimeter KYB, just like the IT forks are. They do have 1 inch. They have 1 inch of extra. Let me see if I can say this properly. They have an extra inch of travel. Those are 10.8. The ITs are 10.8 inches of travel. These are 11.8. So I don't think it's going to be a big deal. The only significant difference between them really is the underhang is a little bit longer. And this boss for the axle, on the YZ, the axle screws in and uses the boss as a nut. The IT, the axle comes through and actually has a physical nut on the other side. So that's one little thing we're going to have to address. I don't think it's going to be a big issue. Got my IT one right here. I've actually considered just boring this one and run the IT axle through there and put it on, but the boss is a little thicker on the outboard side for the YZ. So, I mean, the YZ, I can't really use the YZ axle and spin it through there because it's got the little handle on it. So, I mean, we'll just have to kind of figure it out as we go. But I'll just lay this one here next to it. And you can see distance from the top of the slider to the axle point itself is a little different. I mean, I'd say 1/4 of an inch different. It's about an inch longer down here. So the lug for the brake is the same. The brake cable stay is the same. I mean, everything's very, very, very similar. So not a big deal. The tubes, actually from the axle center line to the top of the tube, distance is, I mean, if you look at it right here, these are both pulled out as far as they'll go. It's almost identical. Actually, the 125 may be like 1/4 of an inch taller. So if you slide that one down, yeah. I mean, center of axle to top of tube, they're identical in length. So whatever. Not going to be a big deal for me. The sliders, sliders look pretty good. The IT's got some pretty good dings in them. This one, the other one over there, has a pretty good whack. Took a pretty good whack on something. Right down here. Whoa! Spring almost shot out. Took a pretty good whack down here. I mean, it doesn't seem to bother it none, but we're just gonna use the YZ forks because we have them. We have all the parts for them, and everything's cool. Now I ordered seals and dust seals for those other ones, but they'll fit these forks too. So they'll be here. I don't know when they'll be here, but anyways, we're gonna get about taking these apart now. So find my handy dandy tool. And of course, this tool fits this one as well. Man, the old suspension fluid smell. There we go. Bolts out. Cool. Tool. I think while I'm doing it, I'll just do both of them. Hammer and pop them both loose. Man, things work better when you actually have the tool to do them. That was pretty awesome. I'm just gonna put that on the floor because I don't need it anymore for now. That one's a little gooey. I actually think I may put some new copper washers in these. I think I have some copper washers. That one's stuck. Didn't want to come out. I'm gonna pop it out later. Let's see if we can pop these dust seals out. And seals and dust seals. Wow. Oh, guess what? I forgot an important step. Why don't y'all holler at me? Say, hey, stupid. It ain't never gonna come out of there if you don't take the clip out. See if we can clean some of this gunk out. So yeah, the clip. The retaining clip was literally doing its job. So what we may have to do here, since I just hammered that into oblivion, is put my seal driver on here and dink everything down a little bit. And then go get a screwdriver. Go get me a screwdriver to do a little picking and prying, because I don't have my tiny screwdriver in my apron. Okay. Come on. That was a dumb move for me to do. Is try to get that out of there without taking this out. Here's the end. There. Okay. Maybe. Come on. There we go. Get that one out. Let's go ahead and take this one out. So I don't do the same thing to this one on accident. I mean, I'm going to say that's the problem with doing this stuff in videos sometimes, because you start doing stuff and you get ahead of yourself and don't miss a step. Kind of like leaving that Yesterday I left that seal retainer out over there, and then I had to take everything back apart again, put the dadgum seal retainer in. Oh, piece of cake, look at that. Yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah. Oh, it's bubbles. Thought that was like dirt, but it's bubbles in the oil. All right, let's get these old seals off of here. Well, that stuff looks fairly decent now, so far. The damping rod's kind of stuck. Let's see if it'll pop out when I drop it. There it goes. There's your damper rod. And then our little aluminum hoochie in the bottom. I have no idea what that does. It's okay in there. We could use a little cleaning up right there. Looked like it might have had some moisture in it at some point. And of course, we'll shoot it with brake clean and get everything cleaned up. Again, there's, just like the other bike, there's a bunch of grease down here at the bottom. I guess maybe they put that in there from the factory. Yeah, all down in here. A whole bunch of grease right down in the bottom of that thing right there. I don't know what that's called. I do know I'm going to need a new paper towel. No, my gosh, I just splattered oil everywhere over here. Great. I don't know what I was doing that caused that. Well, we're going to continue on here and take this one apart. Look. It came apart in the same manner. And we'll do the... Uh-oh, it didn't come apart like I wanted it to. Drop it. There it goes. Damper rod number 2. And a little aluminum cone deal. I mean, I guess, really, I could probably build some Franken forks using the sliders and everything on that and the damper rods, and then use the tubes and stuff from these. And that might make a decent set of forks. Although I've already put seals in on that one, I don't want to have to tear these apart. Well, I can. I mean, that's not a big deal. You know, we'll just pop it right out. That's a good thought. I gotta wrap this up before I step in it. All right, this tube, let's take a look at it. Let's get the seal and dust boot, dust seal, whatever you want to call it, off of that one. Slidey end of it looks pretty good. Got a few dings up here where the triples go, not a big deal. You can see where kind of a wear mark where the travel goes to, so we never get to those. this end. See what the bushing looks like. Bushings plural. Look okay. I'm not gonna jack with those. They look pretty good. All right. And again, look at all that. It's like hardened. It's almost like waxy. Feels kind of waxy. Man, that stuff is disgusting. Okay. I'm not gonna show the cleanup process on all this because nobody wants to watch that. I'm gonna throw these seals away. There. And can't see nothing with my readers. Can see everything, but can't see nothing. Does that make any sense? All right. While we're here, of course, you've seen my 3D printed seal driver. That thing works fantastic. I really should have rounded that lip right there. Whack, whack. It kind of makes a little sharp on your hands, but not a big deal. Not really a big deal. Now today, I was like, man, I really need a cable luber. I used to have a cable luber. I don't know what happened to it. I was like, but then I thought, wait, I bet somebody makes a 3D printed one. So I got on, found a cable lubing tool, downloaded the file, and printed it out today. So we'll be seeing how well this sucker works coming up here shortly. So tell you what, get a 3D printer. It'll make your life exciting. Okay, one more little tidbit. These springs. I don't know what I'm gonna do about springs yet. From what I've read, the YZ125's fork spring is a lighter spring rate. It's like a 0.28 kilograms per inch or whatever they measure them in. 0.28. The ITs are 0.3. But the IT spring is significantly shorter. But it has a significantly longer spacer that you go in there, which makes the overall length, basically the same after you use, this is the spacer, the IT spacer is this big, the YZ spacer is that big. So same stuff. So the overall length of the assembly ends up being the same. So I may use the IT springs. I wish I had some way to check the rate. That's actually something I could do with a bathroom scale. Press down it. No. I've got hanging scales, but I don't know I could turn a hanging scale into a smashy scale, like a bathroom scale. I might be able to just put it on a bathroom scale and push down on it and kind of figure out which one's stiffer. I don't know. I don't know how well that would work. Probably not well at all. But anyways, that's the difference in springs, and that's kind of what my mind. I mean, springs are no big deal. If I put the YZ springs in there and it's too soft, pull them out. I mean, I don't even know that these are factory YZ spring. I don't know if that's a factory IT spring. Maybe they've been changed. I don't know. But we're gonna. I don't know. We might just put the YZ springs in, call it good, and if it's too soft, we can always swap them or get different springs. Springs, you can buy springs for these forks still, so not a big deal. Maybe that was just a rabbit hole and went down I didn't need to. All right, moving on again. Okay, here we are. Over on the chain side of the motor, and what we got is, okay, I learned something today. I don't know if you guys know this or not. These clutch arms, I really need to take that apart and clean all that because that's kind of disgusting. These clutch arms, they got a groove in them right here. Well, let me back up. There is a dowel pin right there that's driven into the case. And what that does is that retains the clutch arm. Now, I was under the impression, there's a dowel pin. Well, in order to get the clutch arm out, you got to get the dowel pin out. Wrong. They have a groove in them right here for the dowel pin. But also, you spin it around here, there's a flat. So if you turn the arm back far enough, you can just pull it out past the dowel pin. Slick as butter, I'll tell you. Those little motorcycle engineers, those guys, they know what's going on. That's pretty tremendous. Okay, what I want to do is I want to get this seal out right here and poke a new seal in there. I got a new seal up here, but I'd like to put a new seal around where this shaft is. So let's see if we can make that happen. First of all, I need some brake clean because everything needs brake clean. Everything is filthy. And I can't see nothing. Glasses. Perfect. Not the. Is there a roller bearing in there? What in the heck? I need my little pick. Here's my pick. Ouch. Yeah. Clean out around that dude a little bit before I pop it out. It's crazy. I didn't know there was a roller bearing in there. For the clutch of all things, I figured it'd just be a bushing. Now this clutch arm, well, I'll show you that in a minute. Let's try to get this area cleaned out here. Cleaned up and cleaned out. I found a spot on my rag that I just didn't wipe dirt into. Tell you what, get yourself a Black & Decker workmate. They work great. Now I need a seal extractor, also known as a screwdriver. Maybe that one. Oh yeah. And she's out. They're right down there. Give me yet another paper towel. It's somewhat clean. Let me just stash those right there. Stick my finger in there. I'm gonna warble it around. Oh yeah. If I got my little. Never underestimate the power of the tiny screwdriver. They come in handy. My high school automotive auto shop teacher, Mr. Jansen, always had a tiny screwdriver in his pocket. That guy knew everything. I am grateful to have had guys like that as my teachers growing up. Didn't hurt that he was a Dodge guy, and I really liked Dodges. But he was a good teacher, good guy. I mean, not only did I have good teachers, I had a good dad. Still have a good dad. Taught me a can-do attitude. That I can do it. Can do stuff. And don't know if you've seen, well, you probably haven't seen my personal Instagram page, but my little byline on there is be a doer, not a shoulda doneer. Because you always people saying, I wish I woulda, or I shoulda done. Don't do that. Be a doer. Go do stuff. Go to the drag strip. Have fun. See your friends. Go do drag week. Get your dirt bike out. Go for a ride. Hang out with people. Nobody dies saying, dang, I did too much stuff. They always die saying, I wish I woulda. Shoulda done. Okay, that's enough of my ranting about that. But this little guy, I don't know if you can see that very well or not. She's really seen better days right there on that edge. Kind of, and I'm not 100% sure how these little arms, there's a pin in there. I guess that rolls over. Man, that has got a pretty sizable notch in it. It's in a weird spot. I really don't know why it's that high up. I saw a picture of one that was worn today or yesterday or sometime. And it had okay, well, how this works is there's a pin inside there, and this thing rotates and pushes on it to disengage the clutch across there. His was worn out, and it had a little hole in it right there where the pin would have been sitting. This one is got a chunk of metal missing right there. Kind of makes me wonder if I should weld it up and then reshape it with a file. I'll think about that a little bit. But for now, we're going to figure out which seal. Is it that one? I don't think so. Is it this one? Yep, that one right there. Little guy. The other one came out real easy, so this one probably won't be hard to put back in. That could even. Here, we'll use a. Oh gosh, that's not going to work. I was going to use a screwdriver for a seal driver and a crescent wrench for a hammer, but I guess that's not going to work like I want it to. Oh, I have to pause my camera. Find one little. It's a little too. Well, maybe not. Problem is, I don't know where a hammer is. Holy smokes. Never prepared. Never prepared. That's a 13/16 socket. Maybe we could get one just a skosh smaller. Can't see nothing. What am I gonna do with the hammer? Hammer. It's over here where I was hammering yesterday. Okay. Oh yeah, that's better. 3/4 inch socket. Oh, perfect. All right. A little more on that side. Great. That makes me happy. I'm really glad I didn't have to take that pin out of there. And I don't. Oh, brother. Now I was coming up with some ideas on how to do it. If I really had to. I was afraid you had to split the cases and drive it out from the inside. And my brain was telling me they're smarter than this. They wouldn't have done something like that. Well, they didn't. They made it where you can take it out. Now, I'm not sure about that little notch right there. I really feel like, since I have it out, I might as well see if I could weld a little bead on there and then reshape that. Because this side looks good. I can just kind of match the shape or match the edges there. I mean, it's not going to need much, just a little zap right there, and then I can use a file and clean that up. And if I screw it up, I guess I'll just have to find another one. I'm going to go zap it. Be right back. All right. Come back to our handy dandy little titanium welder. It's a Harbor Freight welder. Man, that little thing's been awesome. I'm very, very happy with it. But that'll ever focus on the right thing there. Whatever. You can see we just that one little spot. I'm going to go back here. I got my cordless angle grinder, and I think I can control it well enough to just kind of smooth that off and round it up and at least get it pretty close. Be right back. All right. Well, if you know anything about me, you know I'm a pretty crafty guy, but you know I got to say that come on, focus on the right thing here. Focus on my hand. My hand behind it. There we go. That really turned out better than it turned out as good as I'd hoped, and maybe better. So, yay! It's wow. Sometimes things just work right, and that was one of them. What we're gonna do, I don't know if this is gonna help any, but once again, put some of our stay lube on there. Lube up where it turns in the bearing and touches things that move. And let's see if we can't. It goes back in that direction. Oh my gosh. I mean, wow. The bearing in there, can't believe. Did you just see that? I was cycling this thing back and forth, and literally it put the cable on by itself while I was doing that. I really didn't want it to. Not the smoothest. Actually, I guess Yamahas aren't really known for their smooth clutches. But we got to adjust. Now we got to adjust this guy. There's a little nubbin. I don't know if you can see that nubbin. It's right there on the end of my finger. There's a little point on the case. And there's a point on the end of this arm. And to adjust the other side over there, you adjust your cable up there until this arm is pointed right at the nubbin. Line those up, and then you adjust the other side over there. So let's kind of see how this goes. Okay, I'm adjusting the little snoochie at the caliper, at the lever up here. Adjusting it out to get the slack out of my cable. Which it's almost there. I may have to adjust the one in the middle there. That might be a better plan. In order to do that, I got to find some tools. Okay, I'm adjusting the slack out of it, mostly with the inline. There's an inline adjustment you can make between the lever. It's actually in the cable itself. These cables may be just toast. Adjusted it out quite a bit. I mean, maybe they'll be okay to get it riding and running, and then we'll see how it goes. I still got a little Still got a little slack. We'll take that up at the lever. Maybe if I can turn this thing. It's only 40 years old. A little hard to turn sometimes. Yeah, I think I may have gone too far now, because now my lever's not pointed. I mean, my pointy thing is not pointed at the lever. Or my lever's not pointed at the indicator. See where that is. Almost. Wow, might have been okay before I started monkeying with the lever one. Cable. It's getting hung. Okay, let's see where that. See where we're pointing. We're still. No, it's actually not bad. Maybe just a skosh more. Then I'll show you what I'm doing. Show you the pointy thing where it's pointed and all that jazz. Could show you every detail of this, but then it'd be like every crud. Something moved. And it's got to go back in. Good gravy. Do a little bit, undo it. Do a little bit, undo it. Come on. I wiggled it and something moved, and so that screwed up my. Okay. Pull that off a little bit. All right, I'll show you what I'm talking about with the little pointy deal. I may have turned the light on. Where's the light button? Oh, there we go. All right, of course, it doesn't look like it because of the offset of my camera, but you got this little point right there on the case, and this arm should be pointing right at that. Now, in reality, you can see that it's pointed right at it. Yeah, pretty much right at it. So that means this arm is in the proper position for us to adjust the other side. Whoop. Now, never done that. So I kind of monkeyed with it yesterday, but I realized very quickly that I didn't know. You know what I didn't do? I didn't put the washer back on, and I didn't put the spring back on. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, evidently, I didn't get any of that on video. Okay, so spring's back on, washer's back on, pointed at the dot, cable's back on. We're all good to go. I don't know why I didn't hit the record button, but anyways, it was really nothing exciting. Okay, off to the other side. Well, I'm out of time for today. So that's going to do it for a 30-minute mechanic today. We got our YZ125 forks taken apart, kind of looked them over. They look pretty good. I think we'll get our seals and dust things will be here, and we'll put those back together and put them back in the IT here. We got our clutch lever out. Got a new seal banged in there and got that all cleaned up and stuck back in. We repaired our actuator arm where it had a groove cut into it from years of being pulled and pulled and pulled. So maybe that'll help. Next up, I wanted to get to this today, but some days you just run out of time. We'll get to adjusting, seeing how we can adjust the free play on the clutch. Never done it. We're going to learn how. So we'll see you next time. Oh, wait a minute. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, tell your friends. Still trying to get to 500 subscribers. We're inching up there. You know, every couple of days we get a couple of people. But so, hey, tell your friends. And We'll see you next time. Bye.